value. They don't really have value, but you add value to them. The notion that you can sell a debt is unbelievable, right? Common, ordinary people say, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, Missy, you just don't understand. But we understand perfectly. Okay? We understand perfectly you cannot sell a debt. Really you can kind of solve a lot of problems by just saying that money cannot be used to make money. Money is created from a long time ago, when I would say, okay, I have some tomatoes and I'd like to trade it for hay for my horse, okay? So we trade that. But she doesn't always have things that I need, so we create a symbol, okay? And I give you that symbol and you can use that symbol, and it becomes very convenient, that's all. That's what money's supposed to be. The notion of money being used to make money, okay, that was never the idea, let alone that at this point in time, 3/4 of the world's money that's in the world is invested in money. It's not invested in anything. It's not invested in crops. It's not invested in research. It's not invested even in, real estate. It's invested in money. And we wonder why we're not recovering this financial period. We're not going to recover. You cannot recover from that. Okay? You can't totally commodify everything. And you can't have our shared faith. Really, in some ways, our shared faith is money. Our share, if I pull out a $20 bill, I don't even know all of you. I haven't even met all of you. We might, we have stuff in common, I think, as you came here today, but we probably have disagreements. But we would all agree that a $20 bill is a $20 bill, and that you could take it out and buy $20 worth of stuff. Okay? And if I dropped it, okay, or left it behind, or gave it to somebody, you'd probably be happy enough, because our shared faith is in money. And we kind of have to begin to move away from that and reject it somehow. So these are kind of just some things I thought of as part of the frame. You'll also see in your little zine, which I am deeply indebted to Lottie to make, that there are on page 6 are principles of the commons, and these are put together by an organization I'm part of, and it tells a little bit more about that now. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. I just want to kind of show you one other thing about the notion of total commodification of everything. There's a British social commentator who I never heard of. His name is Bellerby. But he wrote this thing I think is very interesting. The ultimate test of any economic system must be the type of individual it tends to reproduce. Generous or selfish, peaceful or violent, competitive, cooperative, or somewhere in between. And of course, our economic system is failing. If you think of this as a test, our economic system is failing this test. So, final thing I want to say, and then I want to move us into small groups, is there's an environmentalist named David Suzuki, who lives in Canada. He's one of the leading environmentalists of Canada. And he tells this riddle, so I'm going to tell it to you and see if you can figure it out. And I'll tell you ahead of time, I could not figure it out. I had to read the answer, so don't worry if you can't. But it's a great riddle. And it says that there are these kind of lilies, and this is true in real life. There are these lilies, these kind of daylilies, that reproduce very quickly. Suzuki says one of our failures to act quickly is our failure to understand the nature of exponential. Okay? So exponential is, 2 times 2 is 4, but 4 times 4 is 16, times 16 is 300 something. Our failure to understand the nature of exponential. So he says these lilies reproduce exponentially. And they'll be in a lake, okay? And they'll be reproducing. But at a certain point, they take over the lake, they suck up all the air in the lake, and they kill the lake. Okay? Unless there's something to kind of stop them. So imagine this. So here's the riddle. Imagine there's a lake, beautiful lake, and the lilies have started reproducing, and if they are not dealt with somehow, in 60 days, the lake will be dead. And then the lilies will die too, actually. In 60 days, the lake will be dead. Okay, now think of the nature of exponential. What does the lake look like on day 59? Oh my God, very good. Who said that? It's half full. It's beautiful. It's half full of lilies, and the next day it will be dead. It's amazing. Okay? And he says we are in day 59. Which, the good news, in case we're going, whoa, I gotta go home. I gotta get ready for the lily division. The good news is that with some effort, we could be in day 58, where the lake is a fourth full. That's the nature of exponential. Also works to our advantage. All right. So what I want you to do right now is it's just to take a moment, just at your tables, and I want you to just think for a minute. What are the things that you most value? What is most valuable? I shouldn't have said things. What is most valuable to you in your life? What would you be really devastated if it disappeared? Okay. What are the most valuable things to you? Let's just take and just think of 2 or 3 things to share with each other. What are the most valuable? What's most valuable to you in your life?
Something about the way she said it this time. I mean, there are ways that there's a lot of ways to get things under control and have it, especially for
First thought, of course, is from the family. But in terms of material things, I agree with you. Information, I think, like, it's like amazing the freedom which can come out of this. I picture my life without the internet, the libraries, or like access to things, what everyone's been thinking without the internet. That's incredible.
I think even like we're saying access to information, I think more important when I say access, they're always there around us.
Right, the freedom is I'm not talking about cable news.
Given to us, we can.
I like it says to myself, the other, I like it,
I hear what you're saying, but I wonder, contentious, but I'm sure there are many topics that still and I'm equally sure that there's a lot of people that getting the chance to quite careful. They quite certainly quite is a I don't know where I put
Okay, let's come back. All right, so when you were discussing what's most valuable to you, okay? How many of you actually, what's most valuable to you, when you said what things are most valuable, how many of you actually said a thing? How many of you had a thing as being most valuable to you?
versus a concept.
Or versus your children? A car and a house, yeah. So big items, okay, most valuable, okay. But what was by and large the stuff that was most valuable to you when you really think about it?
Relationships, family.
Relationships, family, health,
time, safety.
Things that can't be commodified, right? Yeah. And when you work inside a neoliberal agenda that everything has a financial value, okay, it really means that your work, so for a lot of people what they do most of their time is they work to earn money. But what's most valuable to them is not, even for those of us who make our living as, doing good work, what's most valuable to us is often our work might be one thing, but also our families. And how can we lift up so that those things which are most valuable to us become most valuable in the culture and are protected? These things in the commons. That's what I think. For most people, the stuff that's most valuable to them might include a house or a car, something like that's very valuable, but mostly will include stuff that's not things. Okay, it's not, doesn't have, and we're not allowed to have that. We're not allowed to have that have value. And I think that's an important thing. So I want to kind of have you ponder this this kind of frame